person whose name I just realised I didn't actually know. I must confess, I feel betrayed. Did our time working together mean nothing to you?
No.
All the opportunities I gave you count for naught. Here, let me turn around so you can retrieve your knife from my back. I would so hate for you to lose it.
Oh, don't worry, you can keep it.
Don't worry, I'm just joshing with you. It's only business. But I am going to have to destroy you. Ta-ta, for now.
Bye.
You and I are going to put Mr. Myers out of business for good. In every sense of the word. Now, I've purchased a small island near his remaining zoo. It's not big, but it's an attractive enough destination that it should draw customers away from Mr. Myers' establishment. But don't imagine for 1 minute that he'll make it easy for us. You'll constantly have to be on the lookout for criminal ne'er-do-wells, and also a laptop bag which I lost when I was surveying the site. You know what? Forget the bag. You just worry about the troublemakers.
All right.
Listen, if we want to drive Mr. Myers out of the zoo business for the good of animals everywhere, then our zoo will have to be the best zoo the world's ever seen. We'll have to have the happiest animals and the happiest guests, and that means having the happiest staff as well. But we also can't ignore our conservation responsibilities in pursuit of those goals. We have to be peerless at everything. However, if I've learned anything, it's that if there's one person who can build this zoo, it's you. Or me. But always much too busy. Good luck!
Thank you. So, hello and welcome to the Boney Goodwin Memorial Zoo, which is the last zoo in the normal campaign without any of the additional content. Well, it's a tiny zoo. I don't know if you can tell. The barriers here, here, and here. You cannot expand this. You cannot get more of this island. At first I'd hoped that it would expand. Nope. This is all you get. We need to have a total of, okay, well now it says we have 7. We need more than 7 habitat species. 600 guests, and I think that the total is, well, pretty high. And that's what we're going to do in this tiny little place with our tiny amount of money and no conservation credits and nothing else. So first things first. Oh, I can't delete all of that. Let's just see what I can delete. Because I know that I can in fact delete the majority of these things. Which is going to make us some money, and it's also just instantly going to clean the place up. Next we're going to just terraform this place to be, you know, at 1 level. Because there are some slopes in here that we don't really want. Like here. So I'm just gonna go over this. The idea in this campaign essentially is that you have to build a perfect zoo. And it's a little tricky. It's one of those campaigns that involve a lot of waiting. Because you don't have a lot of money. In the beginning, you know, like in the Yamaguchi Prefecture Zoo, for example, we got animals. Here you actually have to buy all of them, so it's not all as easy as you might think. So first let's just build a path. This whole thing will have to be... This not built. This whole thing will have to be planned out pretty well. Can I... There's no grid here, is there? Right. This whole zoo will have to be pretty well planned out because we don't have a lot of space. Or a lot of money, or... Sorry. We're just not gonna get a straight path, are we? Is this like a full 10-meter path? Even if a full 10-meter path, we can't get it properly. The problem is, a full 10-meter path takes up so much space, like... just look around and see how much space we have, because we don't have a lot to begin with. I know, I shouldn't be fiddling around with that, but... Anyways, for starters, let's just try to get a straight road through here. This is gonna be very much a zoo that won't let you, you know, like make big habitats, design things well. You just have to go with what you have, which is nothing. You know, have all your paths and everything right in the corners of, you know, wherever you can place them. You know, like literally going here along the corners to place your staff buildings, saving as much space as you can on everything. Because if you don't do that, you'll quickly run out of space. So yeah, this is not like a... This is not like the management side of things that's hard with this, because like, yeah, you need to wait, but once you've gotten over the waiting, it's fine. It's the whole part where you need to get that many things into one space without any major issues. You know, like you need water treatment, you need power, you need all the staff buildings. We're gonna have like a staff path going over here into the next habitat for anyone wondering. Which is why there's a path here. And this is gonna be our first habitat. So let's take a look at the limited amount of animals we can choose from. Now, there are a fair amount of animals here that you can get. So like, it's not terrible. Where are my turtles? Normally I start with tortoises, they only have one right now. Okay, no tortoises then. Yeah, I've already started this like once or twice, I've never completed it. Because, yeah, I just never completed it. Now let's do Chinese pangolins, I suppose. So... we're gonna have to pretty much just... how much space do these need? 100... oh, this is wonderful. They need literally almost no space. Which is great because we don't have a lot of space in this game. Like right here, we don't. So like, say... over here, and then... this should definitely be enough space for them, right? Like, I need to give them a shelter of some sort, because otherwise they're not going to be happy at all. But this should definitely... maybe this is even enough for another animal. We'll see. This is very much just a mode where you try to figure out what you can and what you cannot fit into somewhere. There we go. How big is this habitat now? That's okay, that's definitely for another... I want to make it a little smaller. I know that that might seem like overkill right now, but we need the space. Like, believe me, we need all the space we can save. We're gonna have to have a lot of animals in here later on. And any space we can like not use is good. So let's pop these in here. Because as you can see, we're already almost out of money, right? Just from getting the basics done. So this is going to be another one of those zoos. There we go. I will also be doing the 2 campaigns from the Arctic DLC after this one. So don't worry, this is not the last campaign we'll be doing, it's just the last campaign of the base game. We also can't have glass here. Yeah, I know. If we leave, like, these animals are shy, so glass is definitely a bad idea. And we have to make it non-climbable. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because they will try to climb out, believe me. Okay, and then we can do glass barriers, there we go. So yeah, we did give them a little too much space, but that's okay. Can do like a little lake up here. You know, like I always try to make the places look somewhat okay. Even if I don't have the perfect conditions, which this is definitely one of those scenarios where you don't have the perfect conditions. Let's See, I need a food bowl. I'm just trying to cover everything that I can before I'm out of money. Isn't there like a slightly large? I know that is too large. There, that can almost perfectly fit in here. Okay, no, that is too long. I thought there was a shelter I could perfectly fit in here, but these are all really, really long. These are all really, really small, so I suppose we'll just go with one of these then. There we go. Put some leaves in there. For the sake of it looking better. And then some plants, because they will want those as well. Now let's hope that our visitors can come in and there's not a bug, because this scenario tends to bug out a lot, where they just go up to the door and then turn around. Nope, nope, we're fine. Perfect. Okay, next thing, plants. How do you not recognize this hot shelter? Maybe it's too high. Let's try it like this. Is this okay now? Yeah, okay. And then we need Asian, tropical and temperate plants. Like just enough to fill the animal need. I'm trying to mostly have the plants around the windows so that the animals are a little shielded from people who are trying to look in. Because once again, these are relatively shy animals, so... You know, I'd love to just put a huge tree in here. That works. They're okay with that. And I'm just going to put down some ground covering foliage as well to just give them a little safe zone somewhere. Because we do thankfully have a little bit of leftover terrain space. Yeah, there we go. Now they should be happy. And we're almost out of money. So we're instantly going to start with researching stuff. And of course, we need our donation boxes here. I'm sorry. Phone call? I'll just answer it after this episode. Just have to call them back. Okay, there we go. Third monitor, and let's just make sure that these all tell people about the Chinese pangolin. Are you stuck? Are you stuck? There's nowhere to go. Well, yeah, the zoo is tiny. That is true. We are working with a tiny, tiny zoo right now. But that's mostly due to the fact that we can't afford a bigger zoo. You also want to like slam education boards in and stuff like that, because your education rating is important. Plus educated guests have more money, apparently. So let's make sure we get that in here. And now, literally all we're gonna do is be low on cash, yes. Hope that we make a profit. We seem to be making profit, that's great. And then we're gonna go into animal trading and pick up the next animal. That is literally all there is in this, like... It's just a lot of planning, a lot of trying not to go bankrupt instantly. Picking out the right animals in the beginning. So small animals that don't need a lot of space, that don't cost a lot. Which is why I was looking for the turtles, but tortoises, but they still only have one. He's expensive. Like, look at our money. Like, we can't afford 2 aardvarks, for example, even if we wanted to get them. We could afford 1 bird's top here. But her stats are still terrible. What about bongos? Bongos might work, right? I think I could have 2 females for bongos. That is also something you want to make sure of, that your animals breed properly. Yeah. So that you have offspring. At 40, which you will definitely need that offspring. To both to sell and to get your rating up. Because like keep in mind that that is one of the things you need to do for this challenge to finish. is to have a high, what do they call it? Education? No, not education, conservation rating. Which pretty much just means that you have to have done a lot of research into that one animal. Can I not place this feeding box anywhere? I can place it here. Well, if that's okay for the animal, I'm not gonna complain. Are you guys okay with that? Seems like it. Okay, so now we're just gonna build a second habitat over there. Once again, make sure you get a staff path in there. I usually lead them all the way to the corners, like this. And then, you know, like build one staff center here, one staff center here, and then have them cover after zoo. I feel like that's always the safest way to do this. So, yeah. As I said, I've already done most of these campaigns, or at least started them. Which is why I've got some basic idea of how not to screw this up in the first 10 seconds. These guys are going to need a slightly larger habitat, because we are going to have 2 females. And that usually means a fair amount of offspring as well. So I'm just gonna do this much. That might be a little too much. We'll see. It's always easy to know. Just make it smaller if you need to. So how big is that? 530. Well, let's see how much our bongos need, since we do already have 3, right? So that is absolutely straight. My proper building skill. Same as before, wood. A lot of the animals that you get in the beginning of this scenario are relatively shy. So that's just something you'll have to deal with. Try not to progress too quickly. This is like the ultimate danger, I believe, in this scenario. Doing too much too quickly. Because, you know, you've got a large area, you've got a lot of animals to choose from. Like, you've got a lot of free space, I suppose. You can choose from all of those animals, and you have to do a lot until the end. But if you do it too quickly, you know, it usually ends not so well. Because you'll run out of money or something. Which is really, really a big issue in scenarios like these. Okay, there we go. So let's give them a little lake over here. I know it's tiny, but it has to be small. Bongos. Oh, bongos. There we go. There we go. Gotta get them a little shelter space here. Sometimes this happens, and then I just go with it. Okay, we need a feeding trough. Where do I place this? I suppose here. Not like I get a lot of choice, and we need some plants as well. That is, I believe, just African tropical, yeah. Pretty easy. And yeah, as I said before, just keep an eye out for how much how much space you're using up with plants and such. And how much space you need in general. Because yeah, if these are gonna have some offspring, like we'll quickly be at a point where we're above, like at around 400 square meters. And we don't have any enrichment items in here just yet. Which would of course also take up extra space. There we go. Now I suppose we could take some of these and just move them over here. To have them more spaced out. Because people can donate for the bongos over here as well. Normally. Like that should still be close enough, yeah. This zoo is forever going to be low on cash. Like, yeah, that's just what's happening. So, you know, just try to keep your researches going. I usually try to have all the animals at least at 3, if they're animals that are, like, that require the breeding research because their fertility and stuff is low. I try to go for more, but you know, once again, that's sort of your own choice and the question of how much time you want to put into the scenario. But yeah, this is definitely not a fast one. You know, not something where you just go like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this now. No, that doesn't work, sadly. How did I get 3 balls researched at the same time? Well, I suppose we'll do the colorful balls. There we go. Sadly, the bongos don't like them, so you know, there's no reason to give them to the bongos. But I'm sure we'll find something for them as well. Right, and other than that, there's not a lot you can do in the beginning. You can see if an info stall is worth it. The other shops usually aren't worth it in the beginning. Make sure you give the people some space to queue up. And yeah, you can just let it run on like full speed as long as you're careful. And make sure to supervise everything. And then you should be pretty much fine. Right, what's going on with you guys? They don't have enough hard shelter. Okay. Suppose we can give them like another... maybe a smaller shelter over here. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes like the male wants an extra shelter or something. You know, it's just how it is. How did that just lessen the worth of the shelter? Suppose the game is relatively slow at doing maths. There we go. That should definitely help. And there, they can use a grazing ball feeder. That's definitely for these guys. Yep. And yeah, just try to save up some money, try to get some research done, especially for the education bonus. There is no such thing as too many screens. Like, if you can inform people about the animals, do it. Once again, I'm not sure if an info stall is going to make you money this early on, but at least if it rains a lot, it should probably help. It's also going to make the guests a little happier. I think that counts into education. And general happiness too. So yeah. Let's just let this run for a little bit. Sorry if it's not the, you know, most interesting video. It's just, there's not much you can do at this point. You could place like an exhibit and just try to money farm from that if you really want to micromanage everything. Guys, you have a shelter. There's a shelter right there. Oh well. Now for the sake of having acceptable thumbnails, just gonna try to take those now. There we go. So that you guys actually know what you have to expect from this. And then we can carefully think about the next animal we're going to get. I normally start off with okapis, nyalas. I think you can mix okapi and nyala too. So that might be worth considering. We need more games box, we can't do those. And it's snowing. Meaning we'll have additional expenses because we need to buy heaters. Yeah. Most of the habitats that you build in this zoo will need those. I think the only animal you can get that's okay with the cold is like the snow leopard. So yeah, might be worth investing in some warmth. Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep these balanced out a little bit. See, like, it's trying to mate, they're trying to mate, it's just not properly working. Because they have a relatively low chance of mating properly. Yeah, yeah, exactly, like, it's 12% imperfect conditions. Which is why we definitely want to put research onto the pangolins right now. They should be getting tier 2 quality meals though. Right? Yeah. And you guys are doing okay as well. Yep, okay. Perfect. How high is your chance of conception? Okay, she's sick, but that would be okay. Well, it's not too bad. 90% is pretty good. Wait, none of them are sick. Why is it giving me a warning for her being sick? But none of them are really... They're not infected. They're not sick. Or at least the game isn't telling me that they're sick. Well, whatever. At least they're not freezing to death, so that's that. And I think we're gonna leave it here for this episode. I hope you liked it. And I hope I'll see you again in the next episode when we get some more animals to hopefully build a really spectacular zoo.